Hello, I'm Dr. Brian Gibson, and I'm excited to be here today. We're going to take you to the next machine that we found that helps with re-education of nerves. So if you remember, we're doing peripheral neuropathy. We're talking about the different ways you can treat it, including the re-education of peripheral neuropathy as one of the methods to treat peripheral neuropathy. The others are repair, reset, uh, repress, and release. Sorry, I had a blank for a minute. But so the idea is you can absolutely help peripheral neuropathy by re-educating the nerve. And what you're doing is educating the nerve to communicate more correctly with the brain and spinal cord. So you got the central nervous system, the brain and spinal cord, you got the peripheral nervous system, which is everything else. And you want those nerves that are sending the signals incorrectly to the brain to send them correctly. And so this machine is a very valuable machine because it can be used at home. It's called the Rebuilder. This Rebuilder is this machine here. It looks kind of like a TENS unit. It's a little bit better, actually quite a bit better than a TENS unit. We'll actually go through that a little bit in that. And there's different ways. You can do it with just the pads, where you can put the pads on the hands and the feet, or you can do it in a water, where you can actually put the electrical current right into the water. So as you put your feet down in there, it creates an electrical current around the whole area. So if we go down here a little bit here, we can actually talk to you about some of the things the Rebuilder does that the TENS unit does not do. TENS is designed to repress the symptoms. We've talked about this in the past. It just represses symptoms. It overpowers the symptoms. I'm going to show you how that works here in a second. But the idea is it just does that. Whereas with the Rebuilder, it's going to reduce the pain, but it's going to reduce numbness and tingling. It's going to eliminate that burning and stabbing sensations. It's going to help you sleep better at night. It's going to aid in your balance because it's actually helping the nerves communicate correctly. So you'll feel that sensation in your feet. So you get the proprioception that comes from pressure to the feet. It's going to increase local blood flow. It's going to increase muscle girth because of the electrical stimulation. It's going to cause the muscles to contract and relax as well. So it's going to actually even help motor neuropathies in those situations because it helps the signals getting to the muscles. And so the muscles don't atrophy, they don't get some of the cramping and some of those kind of things that are happening there. For that reason, it's going to stop the muscle spasms. It's going to cause endorphin release. One of the reasons that this works is because the signal is working exactly in the same sequence. Again, we'll show you that here in a second. Of the normal nerve is what caused the endorphins to be released as they should be in that situation. And so we've also got the reset, where it's resetting the nerves, getting them to communicate correctly. It's really what I call the re-education process, where it's getting the nerves to communicate correctly. Reads the nerves. So one of the big reasons that the Rebuilder works is because it reads what's exactly going on with the nerves and it fixes it. It adjusts for it. Most of the rest of these feels good to use. It's got a lifetime warranty, and there's therapeutic benefits, not just the temporary relief of pain. So the TENS unit, as we said, is really just a temporary process. It's only fixing it for a short period of time. So let's take a step back. Let's walk you through the normal sequence, the normal cycle of a nerve. This was drawn by the inventor of the Rebuilder in one of the conferences he was doing. But if you see this, you've got a smooth curve that flattens out at the top, and then it goes below, creating a truly reflex arc. So you've got a smooth curve up, flattens out a little bit on the top, and then it curves down, and then it goes to reset the nerve. It goes below the line here because it's doing the exact opposite to actually reset. So it's a true curve in the process of how it's functioning. That's how the normal function of a peripheral nerve waveform should be. So that's the wave. It goes above, and then it goes down, and then it comes back up, goes above, and then goes down. And it continues to do that. When you get a peripheral neuropathy, the nerves aren't actually doing that correctly. Now, this is not the re-education part. This is where it's actually fixing the nerve pain, where it's actually treating the nerve numbness and tingling and those kind of things. So if you look at this curve, if you remember, this was supposed to go up and then straight across, then come back down and do that. But what you've got is these variances that were happening causing numbness. So instead of going like this, it's dropping down, that's numbness. If it goes up like that, it would be pain. So the same thing. So over here, you can see that we're getting pain. So it's coming down. Instead of going low for numbness, it goes above for pain. In both cases, it's incorrect. It's not working the way it's supposed to. So instead of having the normal smooth curve, you've got little cavities in it for numbness, or you've got bumps on it for pain, and they're causing more symptoms and so forth because of that. And so that's what's going on. So if you had a TENS unit, what you're going to get is a TENS unit has an exact sequence, and it just hits that sequence over and over and over again. So you sequence, 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 and it's happening fast enough that it's overpowering the nerve, and it's just shutting it down. So it's going power, 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 power. And because of that, you're actually just shutting the pain down. You're repressing the symptoms and causing it so you have no pain. But also because of that, it's not doing anything to help the numbness here, anything to help the pain here. It's literally just overpowering the nerve and making it so it doesn't work. So let's go to the next one. And this is actually what the Rebuilder does, because it's literally, so what it does, it reads that nerve signal. It's saying, okay, that's numbness, numbness. Okay, that's having some issues. It's not as flat as it should be. It's not as smooth down, and it's got pain. So I need to adjust for that. So what it does, the next signal it sends, and it's sending the signal in the exact sequence, the exact same sequence, the exact same frequency as the nerve. So it's working right along with the nerve. And that's the reason why it's helping the nerve learn and re-educate it to function more like it's supposed to. But it also adjusts for and represses symptoms, but it represses them in a way that teaches the nerves to function better. So it's fixing pain. It's actually doing that. But instead, when it gets to the area of numbness where it says, oh, this has been numbness before, it's going to send a signal like it's trying to cause pain. And what that does is that brings this up to the normal. Again, it goes up high, which brings this to normal. And then it's going to adjust and try to make that flat across the top. Then as it comes back down, it's the same thing. It says, oh, we got pain. I'm going to create numbness in that area. So that pain goes away. So it adjusts down for pain to make it normal. It adjusts up for numbness to make it normal. In both cases, it's fixing the problem. And that's a really, really powerful idea, a really powerful situation if you look at that. So instead of, because it's making those adjustments, what you're going to feel is you're going to feel like it's going like this, just like it's supposed to. It literally adjusts for it, reads the signals of the nerve, adjusts for it, and fixes it. So it's doing two very, very powerful things. It's repressing symptoms. Great. It works as good or better at that than a TENS unit does, but it also reads the signal and then adjusts for the signal. And in this process, it's re-educating the nerve. It's going to be a little bit slower in getting the nerve to function appropriately than, say, the Calmare would be, but it does the job. So again, what you're doing is you're adjusting it. You're adjusting it so that instead of being the TENS unit, instead of having those abnormal signals, then you get it to more the smooth curve with the flat top, smooth curve down, exactly like you would expect. So true reflex arch. And because of that, you get really good relief and ultimately can start to improve the functioning of the nerves by this process of re-education. This is Dr. Brant Gibson, and this is your Neuropathy Nugget Day 386. And it's very, very valuable that we can do what I'm just talking about here, that you can literally say, I'm going to take control of my peripheral neuropathy, and I'm going to give myself the ability to function more normally by re-educating the nerves. If you'd like additional information, you can reach out to me at drbrantgibson.com, or you can actually stay here and actually pay attention, because what we're doing is we're releasing a bunch of different things. We have a challenge that's going to be coming up in a couple of weeks. I will be talking more about that tomorrow. But in this challenge, you can actually jump in and you can actually start finding the pieces of the puzzle that you need so you can manage your symptoms. We're also releasing, like I mentioned yesterday, we're releasing book, The Peripheral Neuropathy Unmasked. And the idea of this book is to give you the tools, the 4 keys, so that you can understand and manage your nerves better than your doctor does, so that you can actually get better. You can actually do things better. And so we're going to give you more information on that as well. The whole idea, if you go to treatmentforneuropathy.com, there will be information about the challenge. And that's probably where I would start, because if you need to, you can get the book as part of that process. So treatmentforneuropathy.com. Join us. We can give you more information. We can help you find the solution. So Thank you. If there's anything else I can do for you, just reach out and we promise we can actually give you some information. This is Dr. Brent Gibson. Have a great rest of your day.